We're going to be talking about 10 things life is too short to worry about. Word of the day is detrimental. Detrimental means it's tending to cause harm. If something is detrimental, it's tending to cause harm. If something is detrimental, it's damaging. If something is detrimental, it's undesirable or harmful person or thing. Water is used in those instances to get the caffeine into your body, to deliver the caffeine into your body. This right here is straight, pure water. You need this to live. You need this to be healthy. You need to drink this every day, all day long. This helps your brain. This helps your organs inside of your body. This helps everything with you. Everything. This helps your joints. This helps with your digestion. This helps with your mental health. Saying of the day: worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It only drains today of its strength. Worrying all night long makes you weak for the next day. This talk is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional guidance, advice, treatment, or diagnosis. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, substance use or abuse, or suicidal thoughts, dial 988. 988 is available 24/7 nationwide and staffed by trained crisis counselors who are just a text or call away. Do you feel like you're constantly worrying and your worries sometimes prevent you from living your life to the fullest? And that's why worry is a bad thing, because worry prevents you from living your life. While worrying is a completely normal experience, excess worrying, especially about petty things, can be a detrimental, tending to cause harm, damaging an undesirable or harmful person or thing. 10 things life is too short to worry about, 1 through 5. Number 1, the past. Replaying thoughts in your head takes time away from you to be happy in the present. Replaying thoughts in your head takes time away from you to be happy in the present of right now. So if you're worried about something and you thinking on something from the past, it's robbing you of your right now. Mindfulness and positive self-talk are examples of some ways to ground yourself and focus more on the present. So what they're saying is to be mindful. See, when I'm mindful of something, that says when worry and doubt creep in, I become mindful when I say, you know what? I don't know. I feel kind of bad right now. I'm worrying about some stuff, but I thank God I can walk. I know I don't have everything I need. I know I don't have everything, but I thank God I'm in my right mind. So I'm going to be mindful enough to appreciate what I already got, because if I don't be mindful enough to appreciate what I already got, I'm going to let worry rob me of my joy. 10 things life is too short to worry about, 1 through 5. Number 2, the future. Yeah. While it is normal to think about the future, overthinking the worst case scenarios can stop you from trying things you want to try. Yeah. What if it stopped a whole lot of people from getting something that they wanted? Thinking on all the things that could go wrong is called catastrophizing. Catastrophizing, which refers to thinking of the worst outcomes to any situation. This too can affect your ability to function in the present moment because you're too busy worrying about what can go wrong and what's the issues. 10 things life is too short to worry about, 1 through 5. Number 3, haters. Life is too short to worry about people that don't like you. You're going to always have some people not like you. I mean, Jesus walked this earth, didn't hurt nobody. Didn't do nothing to nobody.
And they still killed him.
You see what they did to him?
They hit 12.
Yeah.
It was all in his business.
And if they did that to him and he didn't do nothing to nobody, what you think they're going to do to you? 10 things life is too short to worry about, 1 through 5. Haters. Do you notice yourself focusing your attention on those that dislike you or constantly worry about haters? When you focus all your energy on those who don't like you, you tend to forget about those who love, support, and uplift you. Because while you giving energy to the people who don't like you, you're ignoring the fact that you got people who love you and people who support you. But you focus on the ones who don't. So while you focus on the ones who don't like you, you're not telling the people who do love you, thank you. You're not telling the people who do love you, I love you back. No matter how good a person you are, there will always be someone who thinks you're not their cup of tea. If celebrities, for example, solely focus on their haters rather than their fans and passion for their work, they may not reach the levels of success they do. The truth is, no one can be liked by everyone, and that's a part of life. You can't be all things to everybody. And it's important to focus on what you believe in and those who believe in you. Your focus should be on what you believe in, and your focus should be on those people who believe in you. And the haters act like they don't exist. Hating me is not the worst thing you can do to me. Not liking me is not the worst thing you can do to me. I will be all right. 10 things life is too short to worry about, 1 through 5. Aging. Are you haunted by thoughts of getting older, and does it make you increasingly worried about the future? Society can feel very competitive at times, and aging can cause you to worry whether you're doing enough. It's important to remember that life is not a race, it's a marathon. Y'all know the difference between a race and a marathon, right? Race means you better be the first one in the finish line. You know what the marathon is? You better have some endurance. Because it ain't about no sprint. See, because when it's a sprint, let me explain it. When it's a sprint, you got to take off and use all your energy. All of it. All of it. To get to the finish line. When it's a marathon, you save your energy for the end of the race. It's about pacing yourself. That's what life is all about. You got to be married by 30. You got to buy your house by 40. You got to have your kids. You got to be married and have a kid by 35. Life ain't no race. And I don't have to do that because somebody else racing before they get to 35 to have a marriage, have this, have that. You ain't got to have none of that in place. You can be 50 with no kids. I won't even done with aging. When you look at life as a marathon, you place yourself in the present by making the most of the moment right now, right here and right now. Your future and older self will be grateful for it. 10 things life is too short to worry about, 1 through 5. And the final one, number 5, people's opinions. Because don't nobody know you better than you. Don't let nobody tell you who you are. You know, people can't tell you who you are. People's opinions. Have you ever worried about people judging what you do? Are you fearful of people thinking negatively of you? Similar to worrying about haters, it is also very easy to get wound up in people's opinions. While it is understandable to consider the opinions of those around you, getting too caught up in them can stop you from living the way you choose. Seeking approval from someone in your life, whether it's parents, friends, classmates, colleagues, or sometimes people on social media you don't personally know, can often help guide you. So, getting opinions from your parents, your friends, classmates, people at your job, and sometimes you can get opinions from people online. Sometimes they know stuff, and you could post something. Anybody know anything about it? And you might have a person who might be an expert online. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. To get people's opinions sometimes, to bounce things off of people, that's cool. But the most important opinion in the world is yours. You're the one that lives your life, so do it for you, focusing on the things that make you happy. So we said 10 things life is too short to worry about, 1 through 5. Number 1 was the past. Don't worry about the past. Also, number 2 is the future. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about your haters. Don't worry about aging, and don't worry about people's opinions. We're going to finish up 6 through 10 tomorrow.
That's ruminating. That's what you said, right, Mr. Will?
Ruminating. What does it mean?
Living in the past.
Yeah.
That's right.
Also, ruminating is thinking on something over and over and over and over, particularly something that's bad, not something that's good. Thinking of something that's bad over and over and over again, a conversation, a fight, a disagreement, anything that's in the past that's bad. Ruminating. Yep, that's exactly what that is, ruminating. I'm seeing you catching on. Good stuff.
Sir.
Good stuff. Any other questions, concerns, or comments? We're going to be talking about finishing up 10 things life is too short to worry about. We're going to be going through 6 through 10, and I'm serious about this, man. This stuff will kill you. Worrying is the last thing, and you can control it. You can actually control it. That's what's silly about it. One thing that's common about everything that we've been talking about yesterday and the stuff we're going to talk about today is that worry distracts you from right now. If I could take this and dwindle it down to one main point, is that worrying is going to distract you from your right now. It's robbing you. Worry is a thief. Word of the day is inevitable. When something is inevitable, we're talking about it's certain to happen. That's a loud ringtone right there, brother. He says something is inevitable, is certain to happen. It's just a matter of time. Unavoidable. Keep drinking and driving. Accident is inevitable. Keep having unprotected sex. It's inevitable. Word of the day, inevitable. Certain to happen, something that's unavoidable. Here we go. Saying of the day. A day of worry is more exhausting than a day of work. At least if you go out and work and become exhausted, you made some money. You laid in your bed and worried all night. You tired like you went and worked the whole day and you don't have no money for it. Ain't no money in that. Ain't no value in worrying. The Bible says it. 10 things life is too short to worry about. 6 through 10. Number 6, what other people are doing. Because the time I'm using to concern myself or worry about somebody else's business, I can be using that time to get my stuff together. It's normal to think about our friends and family when we're not with them, but if you spend most of your time worrying about other people, what other people are doing, this can take away from focusing on what you're supposed to be doing. It's taking away your focus. This can take away from focusing on what you're supposed to be doing. If you constantly worry about what others are doing, you risk falling behind. Instead, it's your own actions and achieving your own goals that require your undivided attention. 10 things life is too short to worry about. 6 through 10. Number 7, your image. Don't get caught up on that image stuff, man, or what people think about you. Because no matter what you do, there's going to be somebody that's not going to like you. You're not going to be, you can't be all things to everybody. You're not going to be able to please everybody. Your image. All right. There is nothing wrong with being concerned with the way you are perceived by others, especially younger people. So, I mean, you got to be aware of how you're carrying yourself. And you got to especially be aware of how you're carrying yourself around young people, right? You want to set a good example for young people. At least you should want to. All young people, not just the young people who like you, but any young person. I was raised that if I was 3 streets over and somebody was a part of our community, they can spank my tail if they wanted to if I was messing up. And send me home. Yeah, they'll spank your butt. You out there fighting? They come and snatch y'all apart, shake y'all like this, pop, pop, pop. You don't even know this man. He holding you up by your arm like he your daddy. You don't be out here acting like this. What's wrong with you? People don't even do that nowadays for kids. You're right. Because they're afraid to now. You got to call the police. You got to go fight 10 family members. The village ain't raising a child no more. The village is sick. Your image. There is nothing wrong with being concerned with the way you are perceived by others, especially younger people, being overly self-conscious and covering how you really are can minimize your authentic self. It's when we recognize, accept, and flaunt our true self with all our flaws that we attract more people into our lives who are right for us as they accept us for who we are. When you're trying to be somebody else, man, that stuff is hard work. Because you living in constant fear of somebody figuring out who you really are. 8, money. Life is too short to be worrying about money. Being controlled by money. Being ruled by money. Because I'm telling you right now, man, there's some things money cannot buy. Y'all know I talk about it. Money can't buy a peace of mind. Freedom from fear, anger, and guilt. That's what a peace of mind is. Don't let nobody tell you nothing other than that. A peace of mind is freedom from fear, anger, and guilt. I don't care how much money you got. You can buy you a brand new house. Your room can be like Kanye West, the size of maybe 4 rooms. You can have a bed that's so big, man, and that spin around. But I guarantee you, no matter how much money you got, it won't buy you a good sleep at night. You have all the money in the world to buy refrigerators and buy freezers and buy steaks and buy lobster tails and caviar and whatever you want. Champagne, wine that's 100, 200 years old. You crack in the bottle. You can do all of that. You can buy all of that, but you cannot buy an appetite. They'll say the bed. They'll say some blankets. They'll say some food. Some condiments to put on it. You can buy the best food. You cannot buy an appetite. Earning money can feel like a constant struggle, and although it is important for safety and needs, it shouldn't be considered the be-all to end all. In fact, worrying about material wealth can cause excess stress. So instead of solely focusing on money, it's smarter to strive for finding avenues of making life more fulfilling. Because while you're making money, you should have a fulfilled life. Ooh, man, there's a lot of things that don't cost no money. Number 9, what's outside of your control? Worrying about what you can't control. Anybody been worrying about some stuff they can't control? Now make sure you can control it. There's a lot of stuff we can control.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
When you look at the essence of it, I'm talking about stuff you can't control, like other people. Don't worry about what's outside of your control. In reality, micromanaging every part of your life is draining and unsustainable. Worrying about what you can't control keeps you busy and takes your focus from what's important. Worrying about what you cannot control keeps you busy and takes your focus from what's important. Instead, it's more worthwhile to give your energy to the things that are within your control and letting go of things that aren't. Creating a plan to manage your stress and practicing healthy affirmations, which mean I can do it. I'm good. I love me. Those are positive affirmations. Can help you minimize worries about things beyond your control. 10 things life is too short to worry about. 6 through 10. The final one, number 10. Don't worry about making mistakes because everybody make them. A lot of times people don't do stuff or they don't get involved with stuff because they think they're going to fail. How many things have you not gone after because you thought you weren't going to get it or you thought you were going to fail? So you held yourself back. Your doubt held you back. When we restrict ourselves out of fear of doing something wrong, we actually cancel out the activities and things we want to try and hindering our self-growth. Making mistakes in life is inevitable, certain to happen, and unavoidable. We all are going to make mistakes. That's part of life, man. Mistakes, you learn lessons, man. You're supposed to. You're supposed to learn lessons from mistakes. You might not always learn the lesson, so you might have to keep losing until you learn the lesson. But mistakes are to teach you lessons. But if you're smart, you'll learn from your mistakes. But if you're smarter than that, you'll learn from other people's mistakes. Because something my grandmother would say all the time, and it made a whole lot of sense. You can learn something from anybody, even a fool. If nothing else, you can learn what not to do. Whatever the fool in your life is doing, whatever the family member that's a fool is doing, do the opposite because you'll be a fool to follow them. You're going to get what they've been getting. Making mistakes. When we restrict ourselves out of fear of doing something wrong, we actually cancel out the activities and things we want to try and it hinders our self-growth. Making mistakes in life is inevitable, but the best part about them is they help you learn to grow. Rather than constantly worrying about mistakes or the fear of making them, it's more important to grab onto opportunities as they come and then reflect on what you've learned from previous mistakes. 10 things life is too short to worry about, 6 through 10. Number 6 was what other people are doing. Don't worry about what other people are doing because it takes the focus off what you're doing. Your image. Don't be so caught up in your image. It's important to care about what people think. And it's also important to have a proper image in front of children. That is important. But what I'm talking about is just being worried and concerned about people who ain't worried and concerned about you. All right. Number 8, money. 10 things life is too short to worry about. Money. Number 9, we said what's outside of your control. You shouldn't worry about what you can't control. And then number 2, but you got to make sure it's something that you cannot control. Make sure it's something you can't control. Also, number 10, making mistakes. 10 things in life is too short to worry about is mistakes, because mistakes helps get us closer to where we need to be if we learn from them. Only if you learning from them.
It hit home with me because I've been dealing with anxiety based all my life, and that is worry. And what it does, it robs you of your energy.
Yeah.
It robs you of your freedom.
Yep.
It takes the zest out of life. It really is a sickness to.
And it's gonna rob you of your opportunities.
Opportunities.
It's gonna take everything. It's gonna take everything you got. But I understand that some people have been doing that for so long that that's comfortable. But what's been learned can be unlearned. That's a fact. What's been learned can be unlearned. The first thing you got to do is see it as a problem. That's the first step. You got to be able to recognize something. That's self-awareness. Self-awareness is being aware of things you need to change. Self-awareness is being honest with yourself. Because it's so many times, man, the Bible talks about it. We can see stuff going on with other people and going on in their lives and immediately see something wrong with somebody else. You got to be honest with yourself, man, if you want to change. And I ain't talking about change everything about yourself at once. That's not attainable. I'm talking about slowly but surely molding yourself into the person that you want to be. The person you desire to be. But see, in order to do that, you got to shed the old you. You can't drag that crap into the new life with you. You ain't walking into the new in the old garments looking like you used to look, acting like you used to act, and thinking how you used to think. It ain't gonna work, because if that was good enough, you'd have already gotten there. So it's telling you that the way you think and the way you act don't work for what you want. See, and my thing is, a lot of times we want to be delivered for some stuff. We want God to save us for some stuff, but we really don't want to let certain things go yet that we know ain't good for us. That ain't no different than Lot's wife, man. To move into the new you, you got to shed the old you. Now, we say it all the time. I thank God I don't look like what I've been through. Yes, the hell you do.
That's one of the apostles that changed. She was on the way to persecute Christians, and then God blinded him, and he became a Christian. He became one of Jesus' apostles.
You talking about Saul?
Saul became Paul.
Yeah.
What you just talked about is 2 Corinthians 5:17 about becoming a new creation. Old things are past and new things are come.
Yep.
And that happened to me because I was the guy your parents told you to stay away from. And because of him is the reason why I do what I do today. I read the Bible, I preach, and I help people. Because 11 years ago, that wasn't me.
Well, the thing about change is you're always going through it. There's always something to learn, and there's always a better way to do things. And I'm constantly learning. I'm never going to be at the point where I got it. Never going to be the point where I got it all together. Never. As long as I'm alive, man, I learn so much new stuff daily. I'm talking about daily. I've opened myself up to learn daily. It's a hunger. It's a desire to want to learn and teach myself and change, because every time you learn something new, you get a piece of tint taken off of your eyes. That's what it's like for me, man. And then every time I learn something, there's another layer of tint taken off of my eyes. And the more I read and the more I learn, the more I understand that there is tint on my eyes, because you don't know what you don't know. So my life is a constant growing and learning. If I'm 75, Will is still doing the same thing. I'm learning and I'm evolving. I'm telling you, in the next 5 years, God give me 10 more. Woo! I'm telling you, I'm on a mission. You need to be on one too.